This is the Team Tekin mid-motor conversion for the vintage RC10. I just got this in the mail the other day. The basic story behind it is I'm kind of notorious at my local racetrack for collecting all these vintage cars, and one of my friends there sent me a link to a website where this was on sale. And it's a brand new in-box conversion kit, brand new parts and everything. And this is quite a rare chassis, or quite a rare kit, very, very uncommon. So because of that, I figured I had to, get it. It was very reasonably priced. And so this is going to be one of my new projects. I wanted to make a video of this, especially in what we would call modern times in RC, present times. Mid-motor RC cars are becoming increasingly popular, in part because the races that get a lot of coverage, like the IFMAR Off-Road Worlds and a lot of the Roar National races and stuff like that, the kinds of tracks that they're starting to race at more and more have increasingly high traction. In some cases, like at the 2013 IFMAR World Championships, they sugared the surface of the track, and that creates very, very high traction. Now, when you have that much traction with a two-wheel drive chassis, you don't need to put the motor all the way in the back to get rear grip, because you already have a lot of friction on the track. So you can move the motor up a bit and use that different weight distribution to get better handling. So this whole mid-motor craze that's taking place right now is really nothing new. Mid-motor designs have been around since at least the mid-1990s, which is when this chassis was released. I remember seeing an article about this in RC Car Action about 20 years ago, and it was very cool, but it never really caught on at the time. I really don't have an explanation why, because I was just a kid then, and I wasn't really in tune to the whole racing scene. But this is, I would go out on a limb and say this is probably the very first mid-motor design for a two-wheel drive off-road RC car. And Tekin made it for the RC10 and the RC10T for buggies and for trucks. Okay, so one of the cool things about this chassis is it had what it's called an active link suspension, and they have a little diagram of that here. Okay, so hopefully the camera will focus reasonably well here. It's a little bit more than just your upper camber link and your lower suspension arm. There's another set of links here that connect to the suspension arms to offer some other kind of rotation. And basically what happens is, whether both of the suspension arms are moving up and down, like if you're going off a jump and landing the jump, or whether you're cornering, if you have like a lateral load or something, the idea is that no matter how the suspension is moving, the entire tire has a full contact patch to the roads, to the track surface. Okay, now in a conventional suspension, you don't have this. You have your upper camber link and your lower suspension arm, and you set up your static camber and your camber gain and your roll center such that you're trying to optimize the trade-off between your forward bite and your side bite based on how much tire contact patch you have to the track under a given amount of movement of that suspension, whether you're landing a jump or cornering or whatever. So this design was supposed to get around all of that and give you much, much better forward bite and side bite all at the same time. So that's kind of cool. So I do plan on building this with as many brand new parts as I can find for like the gearbox and everything, because these are all brand new parts. It's just going to be shelf clean. I'm not going to run it because the rear suspension is bespoke to this. You can't find replacement parts for this, so I don't want to risk breaking it. But I'll open this up here. This is the manual. Now, old school manuals are not like modern manuals. You open up a modern manual for like an RC10, and it's all beautiful CAD drawings, very, very clearly illustrated. If you go look in an old RC10 manual, or even something like this, which came out at around the same time, it was pictures and a lot of text. So this was when people were forced to actually read and understand grammar in order to build a radio-controlled car. And I like that. It makes you really have to understand what you're doing here rather than just match pictures to parts. So this is the instruction manual, and I'll be going through this and building chassis in time. It comes with a little product guide here with other stuff they sold at the time and all that wonderful business. Couple parts bags. This is a screw bag here. All the screws you need to put the chassis together. I guess some nuts and spacers and funny business there. These are your suspension components and an updated motor plate, because to do mid-motor you gotta turn the motor around and you gotta add a gear to the transmission to maintain forward motion on the wheels, so it requires a different motor plate to accommodate that extra gear. And I guess the gear's in here somewhere. But all the parts I need should be in here, supposedly. This is, I think, the new rear bulkhead. Okay. This is, what is this? I guess a rear shock tower. Looks a little fragile compared to modern shock towers. This is all carbon composite. Okay. But this is, maybe a little thinner than what you'd see on like a modern B4 chassis or something. But that's why I don't want to run this. If this snaps, I'm never finding another one of these again. I'd have to get it, send it out and get it reproduced somewhere. And this is the molded chassis with a big fat Tekin text in the middle there. So battery pack would mount laterally. You can do a stick pack, you can do a saddle pack, whatever. The only thing is you can only change the lateral weight distribution, right? The pack is right here. You can't move it forward or backward. You can only change how wide it is effectively. So your standard RC10 nose plate would mount up front. I do have a blue nose plate that I might carry over from this build. You have probably seen this video of my long front shock conversion for the RC10. The original blue nose plate that I took out of this, because that uses a 10T nose plate. I'll probably use that here. We'll see. Standard stealth gearbox mounts in the back. All your usual funny business goes on there. I guess some of the parts came out of that and we're put in this bag or something. This is, what's going on here? Additional chassis setup information. Alright, so there's some other stuff going on. We got that guy, we got, I guess this is some kind of tape. A couple decal sheets, that's pretty cool. And that's it, really. Hopefully it has all the parts I need. The claim was that it had everything I need, so I just want to do a little box opening for you so you can see what this kit was like and, what kind of stuff was included in it. In time, I have a few projects going on. I have a 93 Works YZ10 coming in that I'll be restoring and getting ready for the Vintage Nationals for 2014. I'll either be running that or another YZ10. I have a 91 YZ10 that I'm restoring, and I think one or two other projects. I still have to get to this Tamiya Astute over here. That's been lingering around for about a year now. But this is on the list of things to do, and I'm very excited about it. It's a very unique build, and I hope to share it with you guys in the not too distant future. So until next time, thanks for watching.